Hey guys, what's up? Chris here. I made a video a little while ago. I put it up, I don't know, less than a week ago, and I apologize. The audio was shit because I had the machine that's right behind the camera running, my loader over here. It was running the diesel motor the whole time, and you couldn't hear anything, and I didn't realize until after I had put it up. This was running the whole time, so you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't even hear me talking. You couldn't hear what I was saying. I'm gonna probably take that down, so if it's not up now, the other video, it's gonna say the same thing. It's damage that happened to my car because of not getting it equipped to handle the horsepower that I made it. So if you did see it and you were trying to hear me, sorry about that. I'm sure you can probably hear me this time. I got the body mic on. For the people that watch this for the air guns, this Ed Gun Leshy is becoming my favorite gun real quick. I haven't even been taking my impact out. That's the only gun that's been coming with me because it's so easy to fold up and it's so small, and that thing is shooting. I got these incendiary pellets from Ed Gun West. They are badass. I bought the 22s and they are pretty badass too, but the 25s really make a boom. And I just turned another pigeon into confetti 2 minutes ago. I mean, literally the whole thing exploded. It's badass. They're badass. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. I'm gonna do an air gun video tonight because my Scout Epic is coming in today, so I'll talk about that stuff then. I'm making the video about the car because I made one about the car already and it got all messed up with the sound. So this is my Dodge Challenger. I've had it for I don't know, a couple of years, and I've been working on it since I got it. I started with some power modifications, and then I did steering and suspension, and I've gone through the whole steering and suspension. I've done all 4 coilovers, both front and rear sway bars and links, the rear trailing arms, the front control arms, all 3 on both sides, so all 6 total. The rack and pinion steering, the tie rods and tie rod ends, the ball joints, the ones on the bottom that don't come in the control arm. The rims are 11 and a half inch wide Hellcat red eye rims with 305s in the front and 315s in the back. I did long tube headers, high flow catalytic converters, and catback MagnaFlow, and the catback MagnaFlow dual exhaust with just the resonator. There's not really a muffler, but it's loud, but it sounds good loud. It's not like as if I didn't put any cats and just straight piped it. It doesn't sound like obnoxious like that. I'll let you hear it. I'll start it up. But it won't go anywhere because, so the first thing I did, I tuned it. I put a new PCM in it. It's an unlocked PCM. It's tuned. I can adjust the spark, the fuel, the air. I can pretty much get into this car as far as I want to. And with all those modifications and the 100mm throttle body, the intake comes out of both of the 2 headlights. I know they have the adapter for the Hellcat, like the Hellcat comes. I did buy that. I bought one on eBay. It doesn't matter what you use as long as it's connected and sealed. It doesn't matter. It could be a garden hose. I mean, you know, if it was 4 inches wide and had that much airflow, it doesn't matter what you use as long as it connects. And anybody that's watched any of my videos, you know I'm more about function than I am about finish. Like I like a nice finish. I try to keep my stuff nice, and I do the best I can, but my priority is how it functions, and that it functions, and that it functions to the level that I want it to. So I actually use the shop vac hose. I have a new hose that I'm going to replace it with, but I didn't wait for it to come in, and I just put it in there. I use a shop vac hose, and it works so well that my intake air temperature is within 10 degrees of outside temperature while I'm driving. If I'm sitting still idling, it'll go higher than that. But depending on the outside temperature, there's the extra hose. It's a red. I got a red hose because all the accents on the car are red. So you see, I do try to pay attention to the finish. because I took these calipers out and painted them. You know, I took those, I sandblasted them, and I did 2 coats of base, 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of base, and 3 coats of clear. And I didn't use cheap clear. I have really expensive clears. Sherwin-Williams, the good shit from Sherwin-Williams. If any of you guys do automotive painting, you know it's like $600 for the activator and the for the activator and the clear coat. Anyways, you know, I'm just gonna take this off the tripod for a minute. I'll show you guys around the car real quick. Because also I did the whole entire stereo system. I have 3 amplifiers in here, and all Kicker KS speakers, and a sub in the rear deck, a Polk Audio that I made the 8-inch hole in the rear deck. That some of these came with a rear, you know, the upgraded stereo. I mean, this has got all the upgraded features. Other than that, it's got the heated and air conditioned seats and heated steering wheel and all that shit, but it didn't have the upgraded stereo. And the hood scoop, so that it gets air from the hood scoop and from both of this and this headlight. So I'm gonna lower it in a minute, and I'll show you, and I'll start it up. And then I put that 100mm throttle body. That's the oil catch can. That is for the that's for the clutch. I did the clutch the last time. I broke it to where I got stuck, and my buddy had to come pick me up. That has a tow company. Was because I blew the clutch, which I'll show you. Actually, it's still laying over here. The fins are all blown out. See, the fins are all blown out. Those are all supposed to be putting pressure going inward, and they're sticking out. And the axle, I broke one of the axles at the same time. I blew the clutch and the axle doing one whole shot. I don't know where the axle is. I must have gotten rid of it. But it was snapped right at the joint. So, you know, I was stuck. So he came and got me and pulled me in here, and I had to order a clutch. I put a double disc, full metallic Ram clutch in, and I actually had to do that job twice because Summit Racing sent me the wrong parts 2 times, the wrong flywheel, which stopped the job completely until I got the right flywheel. And then after that, they sent me the wrong slave cylinder. So I had to take the whole transmission out again, which was really great. But anyways, Ram Clutches was awesome about it. They helped me out. They got me the right slave cylinder. He helped me out while I was doing it. He was on the phone with me while I was doing it. They're awesome to deal with. So if you guys ever need a clutch, Ram Clutches, I can tell you, and the clutch is unbelievable. The amount of power that I'm getting to the ground ever since I put it in, I mean, this right here goes to show you. That's my differential that's hanging off. The axles are intact because those are 1,500 foot-pound of torque axles that were $2,100 for the 2 rear axles, just the 2 rear axles. And so that they were able to take it, and so was the clutch, but the drive shaft couldn't, and the differential could have, but the bracket to it broke. It's still up here, as you can probably see. It's right there. That's the bracket that the differential should be hooked up to. That snapped off. So let's see, this side snapped off over there too. That, see how there's a hole here? There's a bolt hole right there. Where am I? Oh yeah, you guys can see it. It's right here. There's one there. There's supposed to be one over here too. This is all snapped. So that this differential is good inside it. This can hold 1,000 horsepower, but it's no good to me because I'm not gonna, I mean, I can weld really well. I can fusion weld that, I can TIG weld it, but I'm not gonna trust it on something like that. And I got a 4-inch aluminum drive shaft that's already here. I'm waiting on the differential, and I got these big huge clamps that go over the joint. So this is a 2-piece drive shaft. Right underneath here, if you guys saw the video where I changed the clutch, the drive shaft has another universal joint in the middle, right above the exhaust. So now it's just going to be one straight piece, and it's 4-inch thick aluminum. And then I'm going to have big joint locks at each end, one at the transmission and one at the differential, which I'm getting another 390 geared rear differential. The only thing with the axle, I just got to replace one of the boots because this exhaust valve controller got it punctured the boot, so I just have to get a new boot for that axle. But those were brand new. I mean, they're perfect, everything. So here's the rear trailing arms that I did, the upper, and then the sway bar, the end links, the coilovers. These are separate struts and coils in the back, but in the front they're coilovers, but they all came as a set. Those are petters. They're adjustable. With the height is adjustable, the spring tension is adjustable, and the damper in the strut is adjustable. There's 2 dials in the back of in the trunk, and then there's 2 under the hood, under the caps for the strut, that you can adjust the dampers with, and then you can adjust with a wrench on the top of the shock. There's a couple of rings. You use a spanner up there, and you can adjust the height and the spring tension, the height of the car and the spring tension, and you can also adjust the strut for the height. So they're adjustable in every way, and the sway bars are actually adjustable too. If you notice, there's 3 holes in the end. Well, you can't see the front one, but there's one. I'm right in the middle. So if you more all the way one way is going to be more aggressive, more of a rough ride, but more handling. And it's the same vice versa. So if you go the other way, it'll be more smooth but less controlled handling. So I went right in the middle, and I've been really happy with it. And then I did the same thing up front. I'll come up here and show you. But I did a lot more up here, obviously, because of all the steering components. So this whole steering rack and pinion is new. Let me get a light. Hold on, so you guys can see. I'll just use my phone. All right. So that's the new sway bar and the end links. Those are BBK end links as well as BBK headers that I'll show you in a minute. And then the control arms are new, the ball joints are new, the brake pads are new, and the rotors are new. They got me brand new Brembo rotors, 2-piece 15-inch rotors right when I bought it. So I got it with brand new rotors at least, and pads at the time, but I put carbon fiber ceramic pads since then. And what else did I do? These headers, oh my God, this was such a brutal job. This was, honestly, it was worse than the transmission if I didn't have to do the transmission twice, the clutch, taking this all out, this whole thing. So that's the bell housing, here's the transmission, it's a Tremec 6060. That can take 1,000+ horsepower, so can the differential. So I mean, it's just, I should have done the drive shaft sooner, and the connections, those brackets I'm getting for the connections, I should have, but I was so frustrated with the transmission job, I just couldn't find it in me to do any more work at that point. I was so frustrated. I was really at a loss. I couldn't take anymore. So I didn't. I gotta get a mini sledge to hammer that thing out, that chain. So the only thing really that I haven't changed with the steering is the arm that goes to the steering wheel. That's the only thing that's original. I changed everything else since I had it, and they all have greasable fittings, every single joint. And I made sure of that because I can keep them operating well. You can see here's the lower control arm. I did that. I did the shock. I did everything you see here. I mean, everything other than the knuckle and the wheel hubs. I did everything except for literally the knuckle. And the knuckle, if anybody doesn't know, is this piece right here that all that stuff connects to and goes to the wheel hub. So everything in between it I've replaced. The speed sensors, like literally everything else to do with steering and suspension. The upper control arm up there is new, and then there's the coilovers back up here. So, and here's the headers on this side. I mean, imagine trying to get your hands all the way up there to all those bolts. That was so bad. It was literally like 1/8 of a turn at a time on each bolt, times 16 bolts. There's 8 on each side, 16 bolts. There was 3 or 4 total that were pretty easy. I was able to get to with an impact and an extension and a universal, and a universal with an extension and a swivel socket. So essentially 2 universals. But I'm going to start the generator real quick. I won't have it on for long, but just to lower the car, because that's a 220, and I didn't want to run a 220 line out here because I'd have to put it in the ground, and I didn't want to have to dig up all the asphalt and everything. I gotta choke it, hold on. Alright. Now we'll lower this down. And I'll let you see the rest of it. Oh man, I miss my car. I wish I could drive this right now. It needs to be cleaned. It's been in here for a while. I've been waiting on these parts. Alright, so as you can see, that's why I put the key start on it, because I only need it for a couple minutes. I mean, like, I thing takes like 6 gallons of gas. It lasts me months because I only have to turn it on to lift it car up and put it down. I have power out here for regular lights and stuff. And then I did the Barton short throw shifter on the inside. It's the short throw shifter, and I'll show you the stereo that sound system that I put in. I put 2 separate capacitors, one for each amplifier in the back. That's the sub that's in the box, and then there's a 10-inch Polk audio in the rear deck right here with the speakers. I'll show you. So there's the 10-inch Polk audio right there. And then the rear speakers, I replaced those Alpines that came in it with Kicker KS speakers. And under here is where all the power is. So there's the 2 capacitors and the other 2 amplifiers. The original OEM amplifier goes to the 2 3.5-inch high speakers in the front deck, and so the JL audio goes to the 2 6.5s in the back, the 2 6x9s in the doors, and that's it. And then the Alpine goes to the 2 subs. So, and this subwoofer right here is like rated for 1500 watts RMS. It's a ridiculous subwoofer, and these are the dials for the dampers on the coilovers. Alright, so, and I mean, honestly, I hadn't even started doing the videos when I was doing most of this work. I just started doing the videos pretty recently, so I didn't, the clutch was the only thing I was recent enough to do the video, but I'm going to do one when I do the drive shaft and everything. It doesn't want to start? It doesn't have enough power. Oh, there it goes. Not quite enough. I almost had it. I should have kept it going. Let me put that jumper on emergency start. Alright, let me turn this up. Is this making a good connection? Yeah, there we go. That's on there. Alright. That should give me enough juice to start it. You know what I need? My jump pack. Oh, I gotta hit the key. The security thing is clicking. That's not gonna help anything. Unlock. There we go. Maybe that'll get it to start. No, it's just not enough power. I have a little jump pack. If I put that to the battery, the motor's so big they couldn't even put the freaking battery up there. So I'm going to, I put a yellow top Optima in that too. I love those batteries. They're so reliable. They're expensive, but you know, you get what you pay for. And when you need your car to start or vehicle to start, it's you know, kind of pays for itself. That one time that you would have been stuck, and then you have to buy, and those things are rated for 8 years. And the competition that you're going to spend 150 bucks on is going to last you like 6 months or a year. Standard batteries just don't last. I mean, unless you don't, or unless you do drive a lot, actually. The less you drive. Oh, for any of the gearheads that are watching for this kind of stuff, I have to do, this is actually a very new machine. This is only like a year old. I have to do my 250 hour service. It's actually 300 hours, but I did 2 services already. So I got to do the oil. This one I got to change the entire hydraulic fluid system. The filters I had to do already, but the actual hydraulic fluid, all 14 gallons, has to be changed. And then you have to drain the fuel tank. I have to do a full service on it. So I'll be doing that very soon because it's due. It's already over the 250. Let me grab that tripod. Hold on. Oh, actually, I'm going to bring you guys in the car with me in a minute anyway. So I'm going to just hook this jump pack right up to the battery and give it a boost, and that should start her up. Oh, I don't even have the power on right now. That's why that thing ain't working. I didn't turn on the power back here. Hello. Why is it not connecting? There we go. What is your deal? I gotta clean that terminal. Okay. Alright, that's on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go turn the power on for the garage. I didn't have a garage here, so when I bought this building, it's been like a little over 3 years now. When I bought it, I knew I was gonna need that's why it's not, I did turn the power on. It wasn't, the plug got pulled out when I was fixing the fence. This is the one I made the video of. It's all up and running. When I bought the building, I knew I needed some outside space where I could pull a vehicle into to work on my vehicles and my equipment and stuff. So I just ordered this Shelter Logic thing, and I put up masonry. If you can see, it's like 8 inches up off the ground, and that keeps the water out, and then a little curb in the front. And then I dug out this section, and that went down about 12 inches, and I put 10 inches thick commercial grade cement for the lift to go on. The asphalt was really thick, but asphalt's just not strong enough to hold, especially not my 12,000 pound trucks. There we go. Wake up, baby. Woke the beast. Sounds pretty good. I don't know if you guys like it, but I think it sounds fucking great. And when this thing is ripping down the street, I mean, I can go first, second, third, fourth, going sideways down the street in this car. I really have to do the strut tower braces because it's getting to the point where I'm going to bend the car. And when I put the 426 stroke motor in here, and after I do the 426 stroke motor, I'm going to probably put a 3-liter Whipple on top of that. I'm going to wait until I get the motor, and then I'm going to machine the heads on the CNC machine. I'm going to make new top end heads, and then I'm going to do all the lifters, and I'm going to do all that stuff. But the way I'm buying the motor is Modern Muscle Extreme. They sell the block, bored out with forged pistons and bottom end, and you know, at least all the parts are forged. So if I wanted to put a supercharger, I could go like 30 pounds of boost without a problem. That's the thing. If I was to put it in, especially with the 392s, the 6.4s, because they were designed to be naturally aspirated, the ring lands on the pistons are so high up that's what breaks, is the part of the piston on the top where the ring land is, between there and the top, because it's not enough meat to hold it. And they did that for emissions, but because they could at the time, because there was no reason not to, it wasn't supercharged. But if you want to supercharge it, you can either give it like 5 to 7 pounds of boost only, or you can get a forged motor, or you could try to just do the forged pistons and rods and new piston rings. You know, if there's a set like that for like $2,500. I don't know that I would want to do that with my car and then blow the motor when, you know, you're going to spend less to just get the motor in the first place. Because if you know, not even really when you blow the motor, it's inevitably, without forged internals, it's gonna blow it at some point. But I chose to do it this way.